Hello, YouTube. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Yay. I am so excited to be back on my YouTube live. I have Indy right here who is supervising, and she wanted me to tell all of you hello. She loves you all, as so do I. So today, let's see here. Welcome, everyone. So today we're going to do something a little bit different because I have recently started, a couple of different things. There's a lot of new things going on that I wanted to share with you today. And we're going to do a little bit of workshop today. So some of the new things that are going on. I do have a podcast that I do with Robert, and it's called We're in Trouble Now. And we've been doing this podcast since July of 21. July of 21? Yeah, July of 21. Yes. I don't know. I mean, I've got my dates all mixed up. But we have been doing this podcast for a while. And Robert and I started the podcast because we wanted to share our experience in life in order to help other people. Robert is 32 now, and we have both struggled with addiction. We have both struggled with depression. We have both led lives very similar, but each life is different. So we started this podcast to share our stories in hopes of helping others. And our podcast has taken a natural growth. Has grown naturally. There's been some things that we've tried that did work, and then there's been some things that we tried that didn't work. So we recently have come to the point where we were like, each and every week we would get on there and be like, so what's new with you? And they'd be like, and I'd be like, well, what's new with you? And so we felt that our podcast was getting really stagnant. And I always look at it like, if I was listening to this, would I be entertained? Would I get any value out of listening to this podcast? And truthfully, the answer was probably not, because we were being a little repetitious. So we decided to kind of just relaunch our podcast, going back to that original rubrics. I think that's the word. The original reason, the original concept of sharing our life stories to help others. So what it's going to be is one week, Robert is going to talk about a subject that he's experiencing. And then the next week, I'm going to be talking about the subject that I'm experiencing. And so this week coming up, and also too, I am uploading all the podcasts now to my channel. So you can listen to the podcast, and then I am putting it to a video, kind of like a relaxing video, either of me walking around like a farmer's market, antique store, winery, something like that. So this is my week coming up, and I am currently working on the subject that I'm going to be talking about on my podcast. And that subject that I'm going to be talking about is basically how to, I don't know, I'm trying to look at it as I feel like I have two different parts of my life that I need to heal. All right. I have an adult part of my life where I struggled with addiction and drinking and all of that. And then I also have a inner child part of my life where I led a very traumatic childhood. So I've got like all messed up younger Lonnie, and then I've got all messed up kind of older Lonnie. And I'm like, wow, you know what? I'm really having a hard time finding a footing for my growth in my healing in my adulthood, while I'm still holding on to all of this issues with the trauma of my childhood. So I came up with the subject that I am going to be talking about on the podcast. And that subject is going to be how to heal your inner child in order to heal who you are now. Because like I said, I have found that a lot of the things that I was reacting to with Robert and Brandon, I was reacting to in the hurt that I had as a child. Because I haven't mentioned it on here, but we do talk about it on our podcast a lot. But Robert, Brandon, and I are all in family counseling. We talk to a counselor once a month. And the reason that we do this is because we as adults had come to the point where we were basically we didn't know how to talk to each other. We were just stuck in these repeating patterns because, I mean, they had me being an alcoholic as a mother, and I had my father being an alcoholic as a child. So it was just this big old repeating pattern. And while we're all sober now, we don't have the best communication skills towards each other. So we do talk to a family counselor once a month. So I am really in tune with that. I'm very vocal about it. I'm very proud of that fact. But I, in this counseling that we have been going to, excuse me, I have noticed myself again reacting to a lot of the situations, like if Robert or Brandon would say something that would hurt my feelings, instead of looking at it as their mom and taking it as the stance of like, well, I'm the maternal figure in this family, I was instantly going back to my childhood and being like, oh, well, you hurt my feelings, kind of like I was the child. So it got me to thinking. It's like, no, Lonnie, you can't keep bringing that hurt into your current day life, because you're never going to grow from it. So I am on a journey to absolutely 100% figure out those triggers and to do something about it. So I do want to share with you one of the books that I have been reading, and it's called Addictive Thinking. And it's Addictive Thinking from Abraham J. Tversky, MD. And it's called Understanding Self-Deception. And this book is the first book that I have read in my journey of self-discovery and growth and healing, that I am absolutely 100% like, wow, he knew me. He wrote this book for me. And it's been a really interesting journey, figuring out and seeing and having somebody explain to me why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking. And it has also too helped me figure out and deal with the reasons why Robert and Brandon say and do the things that they do. So I feel like this is a really good book for me as adult Lonnie. It has definitely opened up those eyes and everything like that. So then I'm like, okay, what about younger Lonnie? What about that inner child that you're still dealing with hurt and pain in that? So I got this book. It's called The Deepest Well. And this one is by Nadine Burke Harris, and it's Healing the Long-Term Effects of Childhood Trauma and Adversity. Okay, nice book. Beautiful book. I have not even opened it up to start reading it. And I was thinking to myself today, I'm like, you're all over this one. You're just, you read this one front to back and you absolutely love this one. You pick this one up and all of a sudden you're like, ooh, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to relive all those memories. I don't know if I want to open up wounds that I think have healed. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm leafing through the book and I'm like, ooh, yeah, no, uncomfortable, uncomfortable, uncomfortable. And I'm like, wow, Lonnie, you know what? You want to have this journey and you want to heal yourself, but when it comes to like unearthing feelings that are uncomfortable, I find myself just like stopping. And it was kind of an eye-opening moment. It literally just happened like 2 minutes before I came on live that I figured out what I was doing. So in my journey, I am 100% all about doing my healing journey that is comfortable for me. And truthfully, if I'm not comfortable reading this book, I'm going to find a different way to address the issues that I am not comfortable reading in a book. And I'm thinking of other things of like maybe doing some journaling, maybe doing some writing. And then I thought about what I might do is, since I really like this book so much and I feel like a lot of it does speak to me, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through and I'm going to read this book again. And anytime that I have anything that hits really close to me and I'm like, wow, I can really relate to that, I'm going to kind of take it one step further from that point. And then I'm going to start being like, okay, well, how does this translate to your childhood you? And I think that that's going to be a more comfortable way for me to start this journey than by just jumping in the deep end on the deepest well. Because I mean, that's just the whole thing about a mental health journey and a healing journey and just our journey in general, is that we have to do it specifically for us. You know what? This is my road. This has been my pain. This has been my decisions. This has been all me. And everything that has happened to me and everything that I have done has led to this exact moment. Now, what I do with this moment from here on out is up to me. So I personally think that each and every single one of our healing journey is needs to be tailored to us specifically. And it's not up to somebody else to tell us what our healing journey looks like, but it is up to us to speak up and tell others what our healing journey looks like. You know, I will approach this in a manner that might be completely different than somebody else. And I might approach this in a way that other professionals are like, you probably shouldn't have done it that way. But so long as you end up okay at the end, I think that that's all that matters. Now, I do want to say, and I do want to express this, and I probably should have done this in the beginning, but you know, I'm not a trained professional and I am not a therapist and I am not a counselor. But what I am is somebody who has led a life that, by all standards and by all means, is not an easy life. And I have led a life that I feel that I'm still navigating. All right. I'm still trying to find the path that is best for me at 58 years old. And what I do, I share my story, you know, and I'm the only one that has this story. So I'm the only one that can share it. And I really like to share my story because I feel that if I can tell somebody else that what I'm going through and it can resonate and have any sort of, and you can see your own story in it and it helps you heal or helps you get on your journey, then that's a good thing for me. I mean, then it's my job is well done. Because I remember when I decided to get sober and I decided to start this journey, I wanted it to be for something. You know, of course, I want my own sobriety and I want my own happiness, but I wanted to be able to share it with you, and in order to help somebody else too. Because when you're going through a lot of bad things, it's really easy to feel isolated, and it's really easy to feel like you're the only one going through it. And sometimes depression and pain and just kind of like addiction, it likes you to feel like you're alone. And it really is very comforting for me. And it was really comforting during my healing journey. And it's really comforting now to know that, you know, other people have the same struggles that I have. So that's one of the reasons why it's so easy for me to share my story so openly, is because I know during my journey, you know, hearing somebody else going through the same thing, it was comforting to me because it made me feel like I wasn't broken or I wasn't weird or, you know, something like that. So again, podcast is getting uploaded on my channel. We record every weekend and it is downloaded every Monday. So every Monday there will be a new podcast for you. Again, we are going to be doing a healing journey. So things, you know, Robert, the one that I'm uploading right now, Robert talked about depression and working out. So that's a really good thing also too, if you find yourself feeling like you're being just like you can't maneuver, or you feel like your whole life is going through like a thick water. Sometimes it feels kind of like you're trying to walk through jelly. And if you ever feel like that, just a simple exercise sometimes can just kickstart your energy to be a lot more positive. So that's what he talked about. And then again, I'm talking about healing your childhood trauma and dealing with your adult trauma at the same time, and how you, to me, you have to deal with both. It's kind of like when I got sober, I had to quit smoking in order to quit drinking. I could not have done one without the other because one triggered the other. And this is very much along that line. I very much, one triggers the other. So Again, it's going to be my advice if there is any sort of healing journey that you were on. I think that we all need to go back and start healing our past hurts in order to be able to control our everyday hurts. So, kind of a hot and heavy subject right off the bat, but I just wanted to let you know that that's what we are doing. I what else? What else? What else? Ooh, I just did a new makeup look and I recorded it, so that one will be out tomorrow. And what else? What else? That's you know what? That's pretty. Oh, I do want to tell you, I did. I was talking to my esthetician the other day, and remember, I came on here and I talked about cleansing balm and about how I really like True Botanicals and Neutrogenia's was like, meh. Um, she told me now a cleansing balm is basically to take your makeup off, and then you go in with a cleanser once you use your cleansing balm. I was using my cleansing balm as a cleanser. So if you find that your pores are getting clogged, or if you don't have that same, or if you need like an extra step, make sure you add a cleanser to your routine. But I really like a cleansing balm again to remove your makeup because it does it in a very non harsh way. There you go. And it's raining in California again. Surprise, surprise. I tell you, I definitely went and I did my makeup a little bit brighter because I was feeling kind of funky today. And so I actually got dressed. I'm wearing a cute outfit and it makes me feel good. And it's just the little things in life. Just make those little things, wear brighter makeup, put on an outfit when you don't feel like getting dressed, and just remember to your journey is your journey and you got to make it a good one because it's the only one we get. Some people disagree with me on that, but I think it's our only journey and we might as well make it a good one. Now, I did get a couple of things from Zara, so I will show you those on Saturday. And then I am experimenting with some new makeup. So I'm going to be getting some makeup from H&M. I'm going to be getting some different makeup from different places and I'm going to be sharing those. So that's my whole life for today. I hope that you all enjoyed it. I always enjoy you. And until Saturday, I will see you then. And remember, be bright, be bold, be brave, and I will catch you on Saturday. Bye, everyone.